Okay.
Hello, Chris.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. It's a pleasure to finally speak with you. Thank you
Thank
very much
you.
for taking the time.
You're welcome. No problem.
So, obviously, a big week for you. Are you a little nervous? This is something that's new for you. I mean, you've been fighting forever, but this is a new sport.
Yes, it's no, I cannot say I'm maybe nervous, but excited, some butterfly belly, it's different. It's different, but it's still fighting. It's still a fight. But I know it's different sport, but I will prepare very good. I feel ready, and it's most special too because it's gonna be in Brazil, in my city. I think this is giving me a little bit comfortable, a little bit.
Yeah, how important was it for you to compete, especially in your hometown for your boxing debut?
For me, as I was one of my dream, the one boxing fight, and it just worked perfect. Being Brazil and my city. So at the same time, I did my first fight in UFC. It's gonna be the same place, the same arena. We have good memories. It's gonna be great.
Hey, what weight are you guys competing at? Or are you competing at?
We're gonna fight to 154.
Okay.
So it's the first time with boxing fight. The first time we're gonna fight 154. I think last time at 54 when I was competing wrestling. I think.
Does it feel good to like not have to, cut so much weight this time?
Yes, you feel more happy in the fight week. It's a kind of weird. 17 years I've been cut to weight, the week the fight. And then this week has been a little bit different.
Sure, sure. So why is now the right time? Because you've been talking about professional boxing for a very long time, Chris. Like, why is now the right time for you to do it?
No, I don't know if it's about the right time, but I think when is the support is the time. Like show up at this moment. It's like I was being prepared. Like I don't have a plan, but I would like someone for my dream. But the show up to be this week. It's the plan, God's plan.
Now, it's 8 2-minute rounds, of course. It's very different from what you're used to in MMA, but also it's in boxing, they do different lengths of rounds for women and men, unlike in MMA, where you guys, men and women, everyone fights 5 minutes. What do you think of kind of the whole idea of women in boxing fighting shorter time period than men? Where do you stand on that?
When I started MMA, me, Gina Carano, before the girls, only 3 minutes too, in the women's MMA. And the me, Gina Carano, when you fight each other, was the first time in the history you fight 5 minute rounds. So I believe in the sport's going to grow and then going to change the time. I believe the girls can fight 3 minutes, then 2 minutes. But the 2 minutes is short, but I believe the girls in the future can fight 3 minutes.
So what's been the biggest challenge for you in adjusting your training in particular for boxing instead of mixed martial arts?
I think a little bit fight with shoes is different. But of course, everything is different too because the boxing for MMA is different than boxing, and then there's a very repetition too because every day you train kind of same thing. Is no like okay, today morning I'm gonna do Muay Thai, tomorrow grappling, today is no have a mixed martial arts. But I feel happy. I know it's gonna improve my game for MMA a lot. Just training focus to boxing now, and I feel great for this.
So your opponent is Simone Silva. What do you kind of make of her as an opponent? Like what makes her dangerous? I mean, she's obviously experienced, so but even in addition to experience, what makes her a dangerous opponent?
She's have more than 40 fights in professional fights boxing. She 17 years doing boxing. She have a lot of experience, and it's helped for sure her. The experience. But I have 17 years for fight too. But MMA, it's a fight word. So, but she's good name. She's have a great fights. She fight for world title 4 times. She's gonna be a big challenge. But I never choose my opponent. So when they say Simone Silva wanna fight you, say okay. I just have to be ready, prepared for be a great fight.
Is there something that she's particularly strong at when she's in the ring that you're kind of aware of going in?
I think the experience is gonna be like the quick move her feet. I think it's gonna be working.
Okay, okay. So the last I'd heard, I know there was some sort of issue with the commission in Brazil, like
Uh-huh.
about overseeing the bout. She's got like some sort of medical suspension in Texas. What does that mean for this fight? Is there any impact on like the way this fight's going to go down, or is everything kind of sorted out?
Now for me, it's still gonna be my first fight. and what's gonna happen after this. I don't change anything for me because this is gonna be my first fight boxing and then be taken serious, and just to go over there and do my best. That's it. This is then have to deal with the promotion and you heard, the shoes are between then, but I just have to be working, be focused to the fight.
Now, obviously, you're focused on Silva this weekend. We know that, but there's a lot of talk, about kind of possibilities beyond this fight. Katie Taylor's name comes up all the time. A lot of people would love to see that. I mean, is that something you would just love to be able to test? What would that mean for you to test yourself against someone, who's like considered one of the best in the world someday?
No, I feel honored. The people calling me out, and I know I have much respect with Katie Taylor, and she's the legend in boxing too. So for me, it's a big challenge. But for now, I've just focused on Simone and I try to do my best. And for sure, this is gonna open the door for another fight. I have a lot of fights in the line, not just now in the box open the door, but the MMA too. And have a lot of girls too. So I'm just gonna enjoy this moment, fighting, do my best, and see what's going to be the next after this fight.
Now, obviously, you've been in mixed martial arts a long time. You've done many different martial arts along the way. And so boxing is not necessarily a foreign idea to you. But when did you really start focusing specifically on boxing, either for this fight or maybe even before?
I think it's going to be 3 years, 2 years. I've been training for Virgil Ortiz, back and forth. I fight with Erling Blank. She's from boxing. I did the two eyes fight to her. So we've been working a little bit a while. I think the start when I signed for Bellator, I started working.
Is there like kind of an area of your particular boxing game that has improved maybe more than others in the lead up to this fight?
For this fight, I just train boxing. I don't train anything. I don't train jiu-jitsu, anything. Just focus on the boxing. But for sure, I keep training for improving, gotta learn it. Martial arts is you have to no stop learning. So, but for this fight, I just focus on boxing.
Where do you think you got better in the boxing range, though? Like, was it footwork or, hand speed or anything like that? Where do you think you might have improved the most in particular with boxing?
Maybe thinking about like a boxer,
Mhm.
move back too. So sideways, move use your feet, touch but not be touch. I think a lot of things you've been working.
So yeah, it's because obviously it's a very different sport. Like they're judges will be looking for different things. Certain things that you're used to working maybe in mixed martial arts may not work here as well. I mean, is that something that has been a challenge for you too, or do you think you've really kind of taken to the boxing very well?
No, when I'm switch my mind, it's a box is a box. I've been sparring girls from boxing for a long time, like long time. Have a lot of friends, a lot of girls show up in the gym and you boxing, only sparring boxing. So for me, it's like I put in my mind, it's a box, it's a box. It's not gonna show up one kick in the middle of the box. No, it's really fox. I switch there and just boxing.
Of course, of course. I don't think anybody
Maybe
expects you
you
to throw
think,
a kick.
maybe think, man, if I catch you here, but no, it's just a box. Yeah.
Sure, sure, sure. So, obviously you've been at the top of your division for, I mean, at least 13 years, Cris. Like this is kind of unheard of in the sport of mixed martial arts. People they come and they go. You've been a constant up there. Has it been difficult for you to stay motivated being up at the top? Because we've seen greats in other sports. Sometimes it's even hard to stay motivated.
I think the first thing you have to love your job. I have some hard times in my career, and they say, you know what, now it's time to take a break, time to rest. But we don't know. I don't know what's the God's plan for my life, but I am the great things when I go step in the cage. It's just giving back to community after the fights. Use my platform for give the lights for another ones, for help them, for motivated for getting your dream, and the fight for a goal. So this is the one thing I always have in my heart, bring the light for who's needed. So I think this is motivate every day. When I walk in the street, people talk to me, they open their heart for me. Like they think know me for a long time. And I just met the person time. This is very special for me. And I can be in the life of a lot of people and help them and motivate them.
So, you've had so many big moments in your career, but is there one or maybe two or something like that that just stand out above the others when you look back? I know it's tough to look back. You're still fighting, but there must be something that you're just like, man, I'm really proud of this.
I think in my first fight in the United States, when I fought outside America in Brazil, I was 2 years waiting for the opportunity, and then there was sometimes a hard time, and they say, "Chris, wait, just train, the opportunity gonna come." And I wait 2 years just training, and then open the door for go for fight outside. And then when I fight Gina Carano, change the sport forever. We change it for the time for 5 minutes rounds. We fight for the title, was the main event, so it was amazing on TV. We were breaking news, was perfect. And I think I have a great moment in my career, but I think it's the most good. This one's the nice ones because changed a lot of things. When UFC put in the R division to 145, 45 pounds after all the cut weights, I think I had a lot of things, work.
Okay, so you're, as I understand it, a free agent right now, and I understand you also have a very strong relationship with Bellator, and that may be where you end up. But there's of course other suitors out there. Has anyone kind of talked to you about this? Like, has PFL reached out, or Ryzen, or any of these other promotions? Is there interest on your side or their side?
No, we never talk yet, anything. So I'll just focus for this fight for Simon. And I believe after this fight, you're gonna know more about. But I never sit down and talk anything from PFL, anything.
Okay, okay. And PFL in particular, they had Don Davis had put out that Twitter poll back in April. You know the one I think I'm referring to, where
Yes, yes.
yeah, he said closer and it should have been. You didn't really like that, and I can understand why. I mean, does that actually have like an impact on the way you might want to do business with these people?
I think you just have to be professional. You have to sit down and talk. I think putting social media just make it then crowd and then, but exciting, but it's nothing. It's nothing really real. It's just being talk. So I don't know.
You'll deal with it after this fight, right?
Yes, yes,
Yes, of course, of course. And last question I have for you is, you've spoken recently about the possibility of fighting 3 more years, I think, right? You want to get to 20 years overall, as I
yes.
understand it, stop fighting. With the end in sight, what beyond this boxing debut here do you really want to like make sure you accomplish in your time as an athlete before you step away?
No, I think about this fight as a one a dream come true, and I'm happy. This is before the 20 years, and I think I have a lot of things to do in mixed martial arts. I don't think I have to prove anything, but I want to do the biggest fight for my fans, make them exciting and the end for and it's still having it for complete 20 years to have a little while. So I just want to enjoy every moment because every time I step up for a fight, my team say, Chris, enjoy every moment because gonna have so much. This is you're gonna have a lot. So, I enjoy every moment of my life now, my career, enjoy every moment with my fans fighting and yeah, do the biggest fight for my fans.
I get you. And the biggest fight for fans probably right now is Kayla Harrison. Is that a fight you actually want, or?
Let's see. Let's see. It's gonna see after this fight. I don't like to think about the future. Something I have to stop. First I have to pass, something. And let's see after this fight.
I understand. I understand. Well, listen, Chris, thank you very much for your time. I wish you the best of luck, and I hope you enjoy your first foray into boxing.
Thank you so much.